Before we begin, tell us in the comments. Where in the world are you watching from today? On a rainy Thursday evening, a man walked into the upscale La Rosa restaurant in central Madrid and instantly drew every eye in the room. He wore a worn jacket with holes at the elbows, faded jeans, and battered sneakers. His hair was messy, his face unshaven, his expression exhausted and hungry. Guests in expensive suits and dresses turned away in disgust. Some even covered their noses, as if he smelled bad. "What is that tramp doing here?" whispered an elderly lady in a mink coat. "He's probably lost. Security should escort him out," replied the man beside her in a tailored suit. The stranger walked hesitantly into the dining hall and stopped at a vacant table by the window. He sat down, looking around with hopeful, tired eyes. A waitress approached him at once. This was Sarah Gomez, a 28-year-old brunette with a cold, haughty expression. "Sorry," she said dismissively, "but this place isn't for people of your stature." "I'd like to eat," the man replied quietly. "I'm very hungry. There's no free food here. And judging by your appearance, you don't have any money." "I have some." He pulled a few crumpled bills from his pocket. "Enough for something simple, maybe." Sarah looked at the dirty money with disgust. "Leave before I call security. You're ruining our guests' appetites." "Please," he whispered. "I haven't eaten in 2 days." "Not my problem. Go to a soup kitchen." At that moment, another waitress approached. Ana Martinez, 23, with soft features and kind brown eyes. "Sarah, what's going on?" she asked. "Nothing special," Sarah shrugged. "Just chasing away a beggar." Ana looked closely at the stranger. In his eyes, she didn't see insolence or manipulation, only pain and desperation. "Good evening," Ana said gently. "What would you like to order?" "Ana," Sarah hissed. "What are you doing?" "Working. Serving a customer." "What kind of customer is he?" "Look at him." "I see a hungry man who needs help," Ana replied. The stranger looked at her gratefully. "Señorita, I have some money. What can I buy with this?" He showed her the crumpled bills. It was barely enough for a simple salad. "It doesn't matter," she said. "What would you like to eat?" "Anything. I haven't had a hot meal in a long time." "Okay," she smiled. "I'll think of something." Sarah grabbed Anna's arm. "Are you crazy? Señora Marisol will fire you if she finds out." "Then let her fire me," Anna answered quietly. "I can't just watch a man go hungry. He's a liar. There are plenty of them on the streets. They tell stories to get free food." "And if he's not lying?" Anna countered. "If he truly needs help? We're people, Sarah, not robots." Anna went into the kitchen, where Chef Eduardo Sanchez, a man in his 50s with a big heart and golden hands, was working over the stove. "Eduardo," she said, "I need a favor." "What's wrong, girl?" "There's a hungry man in the dining room. He barely has any money. He hasn't eaten for days." "And what do you want?" Eduardo asked, already guessing the answer. "Cook him something. On me." Eduardo hesitated. He knew the restaurant's rules. No charity dinners, no discounts without the owner's permission. "Anna, this could cause problems." "Eduardo," she reminded him softly. "Remember how you told me about your childhood? When your family was starving after your father died?" "I remember. And how your neighbor, Señora Carmen, brought you soup every day, even though she wasn't rich?" Eduardo's eyes softened. "Yes, Señora Carmen. A saint." "So," Anna said, "let's be like her today." Eduardo looked into Anna's eyes and saw the same kindness that had once saved his own family. "Okay," he sighed. "But if there's trouble, I'll say I decided to feed him myself." "Thank you, Eduardo. You're a golden man." From what he had in the kitchen, Eduardo put together a hearty meal. Beef stew with vegetables, rice, and fresh bread. A proper dinner worthy of any paying customer. As he plated the dish, Sarah burst into the kitchen. "What's going on here?" she demanded. "I'm making dinner," Eduardo replied calmly. "For a beggar? Seriously?" "For a human being," he answered. "Eduardo, you're risking your job. And you, Anna, have lost your mind." "Sarah, that's enough," Anna said tiredly. "The man is starving. Does that not touch your heart at all?" "My heart is here for work," Sarah replied coldly. "I'm here to serve paying customers, not feed homeless people." "And I'm here to help people," Anna said quietly. "Then go work in a soup kitchen." "Maybe I will." Eduardo handed Anna the tray. "Take this to him quickly, before anyone else sees." Anna picked up the tray and walked toward the dining room. But Sarah blocked her path. "I won't let you disgrace our restaurant." Move, Sarah. Never. I'll tell Senora Marisol what you're doing. Tell her, Anna answered calmly. I'm not ashamed. The raised voices drew attention from other staff. Some thought Anna had gone too far. Others silently admired her, but were afraid to say anything. What's going on here? A stern woman's voice cut through the noise. Marisol Castillo, the owner of La Rosa, had entered the kitchen. An elegant woman in her 50s with a piercing gaze and iron will. Senora Marisol. Sarah sighed with relief. I'm glad you're here. Anna wants to feed a homeless man for free. Is that true? Marisol asked, eyes fixed on Anna. Not for free, Anna said. I'll pay for his dinner from my salary. Why? Marisol asked. Because he's hungry, Anna replied simply. And I can't work in peace knowing that he's sitting next to us with an empty stomach. Marisol studied Anna in silence for several seconds. Fine, she said at last. Feed him. But the money will really be deducted from your salary. Agreed, Anna nodded. Senora Marisol, Sarah protested. That's not right. We'll set a bad precedent. Take care of your tables, Sarah, the owner replied coldly. Anna, relieved, took the tray to the dining room. She set the food in front of the stranger. Thank you, he said hoarsely, on the verge of tears. No one has been this kind to me in a very long time. You're welcome, she smiled. Enjoy your meal. Don't worry about the payment. It's taken care of. He started to eat. It was obvious he was truly starving. He ate slowly, savoring every bite, as if afraid the food might disappear. Other patrons watched in silence. Some frowned in disapproval. Others looked at Anna with quiet admiration. Well done, girl, whispered an elderly lady at the next table. Not many would dare to do that. In the corner, a young businessman said to his companion, Now that's real service. They care about people, not just money. Sarah watched with growing irritation. She couldn't understand why anyone would risk their job for a vagabond, and why customers seemed to respect Anna for it. That night, she came up with a plan for revenge. The next day, the tension in the restaurant was thick. While some staff quietly supported Anna and Eduardo, others sided with Sarah, saying feelings had no place in a fine dining restaurant. By lunchtime, the stranger returned. This time he looked a little better. His hair was combed, his face washed, though his clothes were still shabby. He walked up to the reception desk, where Sarah was standing. Good afternoon, he said quietly. May I have a table? You again? Sarah said coldly. Yesterday they fed you out of pity, and now you think this is a soup kitchen. I have money, he replied and showed her some bills. I want to thank the waitress from yesterday. Anna is busy, and you don't have enough money for a decent meal anyway, she snapped. Then I'll order something simple, he said calmly. Listen, tramp, Sarah leaned closer. Don't push your luck. You were lucky to run into a fool yesterday, but I won't tolerate beggars here. At that moment, Anna appeared. Good afternoon, she greeted him warmly. How are you? Did you eat well yesterday? Yes, thank you, he smiled shyly. I came to thank you and, if possible, to order something else. Of course. Come, I'll get you a table. Anna, Sarah barked. You have other customers. I'll manage. I'll serve him too. This is wrong, Sarah insisted. What's wrong with feeding a hungry man? He's not our customer. Look at him, Sarah hissed. I see a man who politely asks for food and is ready to pay, Anna replied. Sarah grabbed her hand. If you serve him, I'll complain to Senora Marisol. Go ahead, Anna answered. I'm not ashamed. She seated the man by the window and handed him a menu. What would you recommend? He asked. The soup of the day is very good, and the sandwich is excellent, she said. It's not too expensive. Don't worry about the price, she added. The main thing is that you're full. You are very kind, he said. There aren't many like you. There are many, she smiled. Most just don't show it. In the kitchen, Eduardo started cooking again. But within minutes, Sarah appeared, furious. Eduardo, don't you dare cook for that beggar again, she snapped. Why not? He asked calmly. Because Anna's crazy, and you're supporting her madness. I support humanity, he replied. Humanity? She scoffed. We work in a fine dining restaurant, not a homeless shelter. Fine dining doesn't mean heartless, Eduardo said quietly. At that moment, Marisol entered the kitchen, having heard the raised voices. What's this argument about? She asked. Senora Marisol, Sarah rushed to explain. Anna is feeding that homeless man again. This is bad for our image. He came as a regular customer, Anna said. He politely ordered food. What kind of customer barely has enough money for a salad? Sarah protested. Money isn't the point, Marisol said slowly. How is it not? Sarah insisted. We're running a business. Yes, Marisol nodded. We are running a business. But we are also still human. Sarah fell silent, shocked by this answer. Eduardo, prepare the order, Marisol said. Anna, serve the customer. And you, Sarah, get back to work. Once again, the man received a warm meal. Once again, some customers frowned, and others smiled with respect. And Sarah's resentment grew. On the third day, the stranger arrived right at noon. This time, he brought a small bouquet of wildflowers. He approached the reception where Sarah stood. Good afternoon, he said. A table for one, please. You again? Sarah exploded. 3 days in a row? Are you trying to drive me crazy? I just want to eat, he replied softly. And I'm ready to pay. Pay, she laughed. With your pennies? At that moment, Anna appeared again. Good afternoon, she greeted him. How are you? Oh, what beautiful flowers. These are for you, he said shyly. To thank you for your kindness. You shouldn't have, she smiled, taking the bouquet. But it's very nice. Thank you. Anna, Sarah growled through clenched teeth. You have other customers. I'll serve everyone, Anna replied. Come, your regular table is free, she said to the man. A regular table for a beggar? Sarah snapped. A regular table for a regular customer, Anna corrected. He's a beggar, Sarah insisted. Not a customer. He's a human being, Anna answered. And as long as he behaves decently and pays for his food, he's our customer. The man sat awkwardly, trapped between two arguing women. Please don't argue about me, he said quietly. I can leave if it's a problem. You're not going anywhere, Anna said firmly. Sit down. He ordered soup and a sandwich again. While Eduardo cooked, a wealthy couple with a small daughter came in. Sarah immediately ran to them, putting on her sweetest smile. The little girl pointed at the stranger. Mom, why does that man look like that? She asked. Shoo, don't point, her mother whispered. But he looks sad, and his clothes are old. Not everyone can afford new clothes, her father replied. Maybe he lost his job or got sick. I feel sorry for him, the girl said honestly. Anna brought the food. The stranger thanked her and began to eat. Sarah watched, boiling inside. She suddenly approached his table. Is it good? She asked with a fake smile. Yes, he said. Very good. Thank you. And do you know what the other customers think of you? She asked loudly enough for others to hear. Sarah, Anna warned. Stop. They think you're an impudent beggar who decided to live at someone else's expense, Sarah continued. That's not true, Anna objected. Look around. Most people are just eating. Look, Sarah raised her voice further. See how they look at you with disgust? But in reality, many customers were watching with curiosity, some with sympathy. Sarah, be quiet, Anna demanded. I won't, Sarah shouted. Someone has to tell the truth. Your truth is cruel, Anna said. And your kindness is stupid, Sarah shot back. The hall fell silent. All eyes were on their argument. Then Sarah did something that made everyone gasp. You know what, she said. She walked over to his table, grabbed the bowl of soup, and tipped it onto the floor. That's where food belongs for a beggar, she said coldly. On the floor. The restaurant gasped as one. Anna stared at her in horror. What have you done? I've shown everyone the truth, Sarah said. You've shown everyone your ugliness, Anna replied through tears. You humiliated a man who did nothing wrong. The stranger turned pale and stood up. I'd better leave, he said quietly. No, Anna said firmly. She knelt down, gathering the broken pieces of the plate with shaking hands. Forgive us, she said, looking up at him. Forgive me for this rudeness. This is not who we are. Marisol rushed in, drawn by the commotion. What is going on? She demanded, taking in the soup on the floor and the shattered plate. Senora Marisol, Sarah started. I couldn't stand this farce any longer. For 3 days, this beggar has been acting like a king here. He behaves decently, Anna said, standing up. You're the one who created a scandal. I defended our restaurant. Sarah shouted. You disgraced it, Anna replied. Marisol looked at the stranger. Sir, I'm very sorry, she said. What can you say? Nothing, Senora, he replied quietly. I don't want to cause more trouble. I won't come here again. You don't cause problems, Marisol answered. Others do. She turned to Eduardo. Bring this gentleman a new dish. On the house. Senora Marisol, Sarah began. Silence. The owner cut her off. One more word, and you're fired. The rest of the day passed in tense silence. Everyone knew. Tomorrow morning, there would be a serious meeting. The next morning, an hour before opening, all employees gathered in the dining hall. Waiters, cooks, administrators, cleaners. Marisol sat at the head of the room. Next to her was an empty chair. Yesterday, an incident occurred that we must discuss, she began. Sarah, tell us your side. Senora Marisol, Sarah said confidently. A homeless man has been coming here for days. Anna feeds him almost for free, breaking all the rules of the restaurant. I think this is unacceptable. We are an upscale establishment, not a soup kitchen. Our customers pay for atmosphere, service, and reputation, not to sit next to a beggar. Thank you. Anna, your version? Senora Marisol, Anna said. A hungry man came to our restaurant. He politely asked for food and paid what he could. I considered it my duty to feed him. Humanity is more important than rules. Interesting position, Marisol nodded. What do the others think? I support Anna, Eduardo said. You can't refuse food to a hungry person. And I support Sarah, the administrator Carmen objected. We have a reputation to protect. Opinions were divided. Well then, Marisol said. Let's hear one more opinion. She stood up and walked toward the door. Who else? Sarah asked, confused. You'll see, Marisol replied. She opened the door. The entire staff turned and froze. The beggar walked in. But this time, he was dressed in a dark blue suit, a crisp white shirt, a silk tie. His shoes were polished, his hair neatly styled, his face freshly shaven. He looked about 35. Confident. Successful. Nothing remained of the shabby stranger. Allow me to introduce my son, Marisol announced. Diego Castillo. He's just returned from America, where he studied restaurant management. Sarah went white. Her mouth opened, but no words came out. Good afternoon, everyone, Diego said calmly. Nice to finally meet the team I'll be working with. Working with? Sarah stammered. Yes, he smiled. I'm the new manager. My mother has decided to gradually retire and hand the business to me. But you were a beggar, someone whispered. Exactly, Diego said. It was a test. A test. Sarah repeated weakly. I wanted to see how you treat a person who can't offer you anything. No money, no prestige, no benefit. Someone who doesn't affect your tips or your career. He looked around the room, and the results were very revealing. He walked up to Anna. Thank you, he said, for your kindness, for risking your job to protect a stranger from humiliation. I didn't know who you were, Anna said awkwardly. And that, Diego replied, makes your actions even more valuable. You weren't helping a future boss. You were helping a hungry man. He turned to Eduardo. And you, Eduardo. Thank you for supporting Anna, and for cooking for me as carefully as you do for your wealthiest clients. I was just doing my job, Eduardo shrugged modestly. Cooking from the heart. Diego then faced Sarah. And you, Sarah, he said, didn't show your best side. I was protecting the restaurant's reputation, she muttered. Reputation? Diego repeated. You humiliated a man, called him a beggar, and poured his food on the floor. I didn't know who you were, she whispered. That's the point, Diego said. You didn't know who I was. You only saw a beggar. And that's how you treated him. That's your true attitude towards people who have nothing. Sarah lowered her head. Will I be fired? She asked quietly. Diego paused. No, he said finally. I won't fire you. I will give you one chance to change. But if you ever behave this way again, you'll be fired on the spot. No severance. No recommendation. Thank you, Senor Diego, she whispered. It's not me you should thank, he said, glancing at Anna. If it weren't for her, you'd already be packing. Sarah looked at Anna with tears in her eyes. Anna, Diego continued, I have a proposal for you. What kind of proposal? She asked. I want you to become my assistant, deputy manager. Me, she gasped. But I have no experience. You have what matters most, humanity and principles, Diego said. The rest can be learned. Many here are older and more experienced. But they don't all have your heart. Anna looked at her colleagues. Most of them were smiling and nodding. Do you agree? Diego asked. Yes, she said softly. I agree. Excellent. Diego turned to the whole staff. This test showed me something important. Kindness and humanity don't depend on your position or education. I want La Rosa to be known not just for its cuisine, but for the way we treat all people, no matter how much money they have. The meeting ended. People went back to their duties, but everyone knew something had changed. 3 months later, La Rosa felt like a different place. The atmosphere became warmer. Customers felt it the moment they stepped through the door. Anna excelled as deputy manager, organizing training based on empathy and respect. Sarah changed too, becoming one of the most attentive waitresses in the restaurant. One evening, an elderly man in a shabby coat walked in, hesitating at the entrance. "Good evening, sir." Sarah approached him gently. "How can I help you?" "I'd like something to eat," he said shyly, "but I'm afraid I don't have enough money." "Don't worry," Sarah smiled. "Come in. We'll find something suitable." She made sure he was fed well. As he left, the old man said, "Thank you, daughter. I haven't seen such kindness in a long time." From the corner, Diego had been watching. "Excellent work," he said to Sarah. "Now you understand the most important thing. True reputation is built by how we treat people, not by how much money they pay." 6 months later, La Rosa received the award for Best Restaurant of the Year. On stage, Diego said, "A person's true character is revealed in how they treat the weak and the needy. When we feed the hungry, we nourish not only their bodies, but our own souls." The story of La Rosa and the Beggar test became an urban legend, a reminder that success comes to those who remember their humanity, and true kindness always finds a way to reward itself.